Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the most saturated handbags in the market right now. These are bags that are popular not only in social media but in real life as well. And these are mostly based on my observations in my daily life. But before anything else, if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers this year. So if these are the types of videos that you like watching, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to connect with me on my socials, it's at TrishDLF. So before we start this video, I want to announce the winner of my Ipanema giveaway. The giveaway just ended this week in June 22, and I was already able to randomly pick out the winner, and the winner is Haramizuki09 on YouTube. So hi, if you're watching, you won the giveaway, and the slippers that she commented is the Class Connect Femme Green, so you're going to be getting that in your size. I'm going to be sending you a DM so we can coordinate the delivery of your prize. Congrats again to Haramizuki09, and thank you to Ipanema for sponsoring this giveaway. Now back to the video. We're talking about the most saturated handbags that I think are everywhere, not only in social media but in real life. This list is actually a combination of both, those that are saturated on the internet and also those that I've seen in actual, like in real life. And the first bag would be none other than the Chanel Classic Flat Bag. So the Chanel Classic Flat Bag. And yes, this one is in lambskin and silver hardware. I got this to sell. It's actually for sale. DM me if you're interested. But this bag is the most popular bag on social media right now, and especially with the Gen Zs, I feel like. For the millennials and boomers, it's probably the Hermes Birkin, but for the Gen Zs, I would say that a lot of them are really into the classic flat bag and the Lady Dior. And a lot of the younger generation, they really aim for this bag as their holy grail, like this their end-all be-all kind of thing. Now this bag, despite how expensive it is, it's very popular in social media. Everyone seems to have it, especially if you're an influencer. Like, I don't think I know an influencer who doesn't have a Chanel bag, like a popular influencer, okay? Like, I feel like if you're an influencer with like a minimum of like 200,000 followers on Instagram, you would for sure have a Chanel flat bag in your bag collection. This bag has been so common in social media that it really makes you wonder, because even the younger generation, a lot of them seem to have this bag, and it really makes you wonder how are they affording these things. But I guess it's just because we have different priorities. The younger generation probably has different priorities now, or a lot of them are really making bank from social media, so they're able to afford these things. But there are some things that are only popular in social media but then you don't really see outside or in real life. But I have to say that this Chanel bag, the classic medium-large flat bag from Chanel, I definitely see it out a lot here. So in my country, I definitely see a lot of this bag. I'm from the Philippines, and although I don't see it casually, like I don't see people wearing this bag when I go to the mall or anything like that, but I definitely see this bag in like all the events that I go to. It's almost embarrassing. Like, I see it so often at events that I purposefully don't carry my Chanel flat bag to said events, because I just know that I would have the same bag as someone if I carry this bag. So events where I have seen the Chanel flat bag would be number one, at weddings. So the flat bags are very, very common at weddings. If you don't want to be carrying the same bag as someone else at a wedding, definitely do not carry a Chanel flat, because for sure, I think like to all the weddings I've gone to, at least one person was carrying a Chanel bag, sometimes two, and then every time I see like two people carrying it, I'm just like, thank God I didn't bring that bag, because yeah, it's very common at weddings. Next, I've seen people carrying this bag at dinners, or like dinner parties, birthdays, like intimate parties. And number three, I have actually also seen flat bags at funerals, and I'm kind of guilty because I did carry a classic flat bag once the funeral, because you know my funeral bag is the reissue. But that one funeral day, I decided to carry my classic flap, and I had the same bag as someone else, and I was just like, this is precisely why I do not carry the CC flap to funerals. That's why I really have to stick to my reissue, because that's really the best funeral bag. But yeah, I've seen it in 3 different occasions. In casual days out, I don't really see it as much, but definitely in events, it is like a high rank. I think it's the most worn bag in the events that I've gone to. Okay, next bag is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, and this is a bag that I mostly see in real life, or like in my daily life, rather than on social media, because on social media no one ever really talks about the Neverfull anymore. It's kind of passé. On social media, everyone seems to give the Neverfull like that basic B title, like it's very basic, everyone has it. That's kind of the general consensus about this bag. But in my real life or in my daily life, this is a bag that I actually see quite often. I see it in the regular monogram canvas and the Damier Ebene. But also I see a lot of limited edition versions. So I can't really tell which limited editions I see a lot. But definitely when I go to the mall, the Neverfull is a bag that I see a lot. And not necessarily like the classic designs. But if not, they would be like in the limited edition versions. But to be fair, the Neverfull will always be a classic. So no matter how much people say that it's basic, I think it's really the quality that speaks for itself. That's why as much as it's such a common bag, it's lasted through time. So for the Neverfull, this is a bag that I see casually in malls and at the gym. Like if there's one bag that's most used as a gym bag, it's definitely the Neverfull. Next bag is the Loewe puzzle bag. Now, this may be a little controversial because the Loewe puzzle bag is considered like an understated bag, an if you know bag, quiet luxury bag. People think it's a bag that not everyone else has. They like the puzzle bag because it's unique and not everyone has it. It's a designer bag that you buy if you want to be different from everyone else. But guys, look on social media. And all the minimalist girlies, all the quiet luxury girlies have this bag. Like if you're a minimalist girly, you definitely have this bag in your collection. I don't think I've seen a minimalist bag collection video without the Loewe puzzle bag. So as much as people say that this is an understated bag, if you know, you know. Guys, by this time, everyone already knows. Everyone already knows the silhouette of this bag. Maybe not for like the general public. Like if you're not into fashion, of course, you wouldn't know what the Loewe puzzle bag is. But if you have at least a small inclination towards fashion, or at least you're updated a little bit, you definitely know the Loewe puzzle bag. So yeah, this bag is definitely common. Even on Instagram, like the Loewe puzzle bag design isn't actually for everyone. It picks a certain style, but for those people who are of this style, they definitely have this bag. I actually don't see this bag much here in my country. Like not as much as a Chanel flat bag or the Neverfull. I see it like once in a while, just casually. But I think it's also because it's not so loud that I don't notice it in the wild. Again, it's understated, so in a sea of crowds, like this is a bag that I would barely notice. So I'm not sure if it's because I just don't notice it or it's really rarely carried here in my country. But definitely on social media, this is everywhere. Okay, next bag is the Goyard St. Louis. And I kind of have a hate relationship with this bag. Not love-hate, just a hate relationship. Okay, hate might be a harsh word, so maybe just like slightly dislike. I think why I kind of dislike this bag is because of the material and the quality. And also I think because of the general impression of the bag. The general vibes that this bag is known for is that it gives off that like rich girl understated vibe. Because this is the bag that people who don't want to carry a Louis Vuitton Neverfull buy. And therefore, because the Louis Vuitton Neverfull is so loud, when you opt for this Goyard St. Louis, it's like you're choosing the more understated version of the Neverfull. Again, like the Loewe puzzle bag, the if you know, you know kind of vibe. Like if you want to be a snob about it, I feel like that's the exact word for the Goyard St. Louis. I feel like not everyone thinks this way when they opt for the Goyard St. Louis instead of a Neverfull. But there are some people who really have that snobbish vibe when they choose to get that bag instead. It feels very snobbish to me because it gives me that impression that you're the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm picking this Goyard St. Louis bag instead of the Louis Vuitton because I am up there, or like I am too good for a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. That's the vibe that I get every time someone chooses a Goyard St. Louis over a Neverfull. But maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe you just saw it once on Pinterest and you're like, that's a nice bag, that's a cute design, yeah, I want it, and then I'll buy it. I feel like majority of people who buy this bag are like that, or that they saw it so much on social media so they bought it. But a lot of people also buy that in a snobbish manner. But for me, I think it's because I don't agree that the Goyard is as high quality as the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. That's why I kind of have a dislike relationship with it. I don't even have a Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag. I don't know why I'm defending it so much. But yeah, I just feel like some people raise their noses on the Neverfull when they choose to get the Goyard. That's why I don't really like it that much. But anyway, it is very saturated. A lot of people, again, who don't want the flashy logos of the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, or those who think that the Neverfull is basic, they opt to go for the Goyard St. Louis instead, because I guess they just want a different design. They don't want to be like everyone else. But yeah, right now, because everyone thinks that way, it's also very saturated. This bag I see a lot in the mall. A lot of my friends also have it. So guys, this is just for a discussion. This is just a video. So don't get mad at me if I'm hating on this bag, but it's just what I feel. I've also had this discussion with a lot of my friends as well, because I always defend the Neverfull, because honestly, when you compare the quality of the Neverfull to the Goyard St. Louis, the Goyard St. Louis is so thin. A lot of people actually compare the canvas of the Goyard St. Louis to tarpaulin. You guys know the feeling of tarpaulin, and tell me, if you have this bag, tell me it doesn't feel like tarpaulin on your hands. Like, because it's so thin, like the canvas material is so thin, it feels like a tarpaulin. Whereas the Louis Vuitton canvas is definitely more hard wearing, and you know, it speaks for itself. Like, a lot of Louis Vuitton canvas bags have been alive for decades and they're still going strong. Whereas a Goyard St. Louis, you beat that up, wear that bag every single day for 1 year, just like beat it up, like throw it on the floor and stuff, and it will definitely have scuffings, and you're even lucky if it won't start to get holes, especially if you're the type who like really uses her bags to, you know, to do stuff. The Goyard St. Louis isn't going to last as long as the Neverfull. And finally, the last bag on this list, it's not a luxury designer, but it's a contemporary one, and I feel like you'd already see this coming. It's Polène. Now, I knew I had to include Polène because literally everyone has this bag. When I go out in the mall, like everyone, I see a lot of people carrying this bag. And even on Instagram, when my friends go out to parties, I see their friends carrying this bag. So yeah, it's a pretty common bag right now. Polène was already being talked about by YouTubers as early as pre-pandemic, I think. But back then, it wasn't as common in my daily life. It was just, I think, this year or like last year all the way up to this year, that's when it really started getting traction, especially here in my country. The bags from Polène that are really popular right now are the numero 1 and the 10. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just not gonna say it, but it's basically like the saddle bag type of crossbody bag, that one, and then the one that kind of looks like a Celine belt bag, that's the numero 1. So those two I see a lot. Here in my country, I see it worn out a lot by younger girls. So I feel like the Polène bags are usually given by moms to their younger girls as starter designer bags, because when I go to the mall, I see more of like teens carrying this bag. However, there are also a lot of people my age who carry this bag. I think pre-pandemic, the Polène bags were given away to a lot of YouTubers or influencers to vlog about, to make videos about, and so I think that's what really started to make it saturated online. To be fair, I hear that the quality is good, at least for the first few batches, or at least until it got popular, because right now, as of filming, I see a lot of complaints over Polène's bags quality. So I honestly think it's more of the demand, because it's definitely blown up right now. So I really think they're trying to keep up with the demand, hence the quality has gone down a bit. But yeah, definitely this is a bag that has saturated the market. I think Polène is the top 1 contemporary bag brand right now here in my country, at least, because literally a lot of people are carrying it. I think the most popular contemporary bag brands right now in my country, okay, that I see around, like in real life, would be Polène, and then probably the Marc Jacobs tote bag. Oh, the third one is the Longchamp Nano pouch, the one that everyone's turning into like a crossbody, so it's like the really small pouch. That is so cute. It looks like the Le Pliage, but a tiny version. So those are the top 3 bags right now. The top 3 contemporary bag brands right now in my country that you'd see in your daily life. So that's it. Those were my top 5 saturated handbags in the market right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers this year, so I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to connect with me on my socials, it's @TrishDLF. I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!